Good morning, Booth family. Welcome to the Boise Unitarian Universalist Fellowship's Zoom worship. We're so happy that you have joined us this morning. Whether you are joining us from the comfort of your living room, your bedroom, your home office, whether you are down the street, across the city, or across the country, welcome. We're so glad to have you. I know last Sunday we had folks zooming in from New Jersey and first-timers joining us. So I want to invite you, if you haven't yet introduced yourself in the chat box, to do that. And I'll invite you to answer a question as we begin this morning. Here we are finishing up really week one of intense social distancing, isolating, and for some even a quarantine, self-quarantine. And so I want to hear what's bringing you comfort right now. You can just share that in the chat box with everyone while we're welcoming this morning. As you saw on our slide, we have muted everyone and we have ensured that you're not allowed to unmute yourself in order to reduce background noise and distraction, but you can help us by making sure that the little microphone icon on your screen has a red slash through it. You can choose to stop your video if you like. If that helps improve your connection or your experience, that's fine. We are going to do some interacting this morning. So you may want to have that video up, but it's completely up to you. I'm joined this morning by Carrie Bastian, our music director, and fabulous singers just off camera there, Dave Falcone and Sasha Falcone, and you'll get to see them sing shortly. We are going to be singing some of Carrie and Mike's original hymns today. Many of you saw via email and Facebook that we have put the sheet music and the sound files up on our website and sent those out to you. Don't worry, we'll also project the lyrics on your screen so you can sing along if you choose, but you can also just sit back and be sung to, whatever makes your heart happy this morning. I also want to welcome, especially though you can't see him, Warren Bean is worshiping with us in the sanctuary in the back this morning. That is how he is practicing social distancing with no internet. If that is true for anyone that you know in our Booth community, please put them in touch with us so we can help make sure that we can all stay connected. Most of you know that we're offering lots of connection opportunities via Zoom throughout the week. All kinds of cool things are happening. So we invite you to tune in to whatever sounds great for you in order to see each other and to connect while we're all having to be so isolated from one another. Jem offered a beautiful family Zoom time yesterday on Saturday. She'll do that again next Saturday, and we'll offer a short dinner time blessing on Wednesday night. And of course, that is open to all ages. You don't have to be a child or have children to join us for those moments. They're just fun to see each other. Tomorrow morning, I'll be offering a Monday morning meditation at 10 a.m., just a half-hour meditation. And there are lots of other things happening through the week, small group check-ins, yoga. So check our website calendar, has all the updated information now. We'll be sending it out every week via email and putting it out on the Facebook page. So we hope that we'll get to see one another in all these really wonderful and new ways as we connect online. As we move into our worship service time together, I want to invite you to get centered. And to do that, I want to invite you to just look around your space for a minute, wherever you are in your home. And just sort of notice your surroundings. Orient yourself to the space and time, to this new sacred space that you have created for all of us to worship together. And as we do that, I invite us all to breathe together. knowing that we still breathe as a beloved community. And in that breath, we feel that far away connection that holds us close to one another. Thou art the song of my heart in the morning. Thou art the dawn of truth in my soul. Thou art the dew of the roses adorning. Thou art the woven whole. Thine is the grace to be steadfast in danger. Thine is the peace that none can destroy. Thine is the face of the need-driven stranger. Thine are the wings of joy. Thou art the deep, to the deep in me calling. Thou art a lamp where my feet shall tread. Thy way is steep past the peril of falling. Thou art my daily bread. Thine be the praise of my spirit uplifted. Thou art the seed to each flowing stream. Thine be the days that are gathered and sifted. Thou art the deathless dream. Each week, we light a flaming chalice, the symbol of our free faith, a light of welcome, a light of hope, a light of peace, a light of love. We join hundreds of other Unitarian Universalists lighting chalices today in homes and virtual worship spaces, reminding us that we are connected to one another and to a larger community of faith and love. If you have a chalice nearby, we invite you to light it with us as I offer you this call to worship. This is it. This moment is enough. Welcome it. Welcome each other. Welcome love. Let the light in. Sing to the birds singing to you. Smile your best smile on camera, knowing that someone needs to see it right now. Find a thing of beauty. Celebrate it. Reach out your heart. Shed tears. Know we are in this together. Let love in. This moment is enough. This is it. Come, let us worship together. You see what happens when you don't have service coordinators? We will get this chalice lit, people. There is a lighter back there. You want to grab it? Let's try one more time. I had it yesterday. Gentle. Let us light this chalice. Gift of light. Gift of light. Thank you. Thank you, Sasha. So we have planned a time for all ages. And this is a fun experiment for us because I invited our young ones to bring a stuffed animal. I have to put my glasses back on because I can't see you. So I wonder if you hold your stuffed animals up, and I'm going to come down the line and oh, look at those. Allie and Dina, who do you have?
Hi. I brought Alfonso. Do you want a story behind that? This is my bear from the hospital.
Oh, very cool. Who do you have?
This is Giraffe. And it comes from the daycare that I went to, Giraffe Laugh.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Who else has a friend with us today? I'm going to mute you back up. I see some live friends in the Zimmer Langley household. Who's with you today?
Hi, this is Oscar.
Hi, Oscar. Thanks for joining us for worship.
Wait, come here, Percy. Help.
What other friends do we have out there? Oh, I see one, Wanda.
Whale,
Who do you have with us today?
my whale, swimming in the ocean.
Okay. You'll see him. I think he's on one of the colorful chairs. All right. Wanda, I'm sorry. What's your whale's name?
Doesn't have a name.
Doesn't have a name. Let's see. Do we have some other friends out there? Good morning, everyone. It's so lovely to see all of your faces. A Cole family. Hello. Cole, who's with you today?
So this is Sheepy.
No, you do yours.
Oh, fine. Okay. So this is Liony, and he's about as old as I am, so about 16 years old. Had him for a while now.
Okay, and then
This is Sheepy, and I have no clue how old he is. Probably older than I am.
this is first one.
Very good. Oh, first animals. I forgot my first animal today. Oh, I see one over here. Okay, I see.
How do we get-
Whole family. I see Reno family. You have a live guest this morning.
Yep, this is Katie.
Hi, Katie. George, that looks good.
Ivan.
Look, even the adults.
Glad you joined us.
Like, I
love our group.
They're like new
They're
people
fun.
back.
Oh,
Else talk, please.
Why?
Those are like super weird and like don't let you go.
What is that?
Oh.
Hi.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Tell them about your stuffing.
His name?
What's your stuffy's name? Are you shy now? Is your stuffy's name Lance? All right. Dorothy Lance.
Rawr.
I'm trying to get through as many. Hello, Watson family. I'm hoping that Rachel will go behind me and mute you all when I'm done. Hello, who's with you? Oh, you're very quiet, Conley. Be real loud.
Be real loud. Hold it up.
This is Zippy, and he really likes to swim in the ocean.
Oh, Zippy the turtle. Greta, who do you have with you?
I have Patrick, and she likes to suck on my shirt.
Great. Thank you for joining us. Hang on to those friends. We're going to talk to them. Okay, we have time for just a couple more. Lori and Kim, good morning. Who's with you, Scout?
Fire. Firelight.
Firelight? Firelight.
Awesome. I'm so happy that we have so many friends in my office. Maybe you remember Humphrey from Christmas Eve when he made his debut in the Christmas Eve story. Yeah, Humphrey was the camel that snuck into the tent to visit the baby on Christmas Eve. How you doing, Humphrey? Humphrey's good. I wonder about our friends. Humphrey, this is a little kind of strange time. Have you been in my office the whole time, never been able to go out? Is it hard? Do you miss your friends? Yeah, not your camel friends. Your llamas across the street, I think they miss you too. I bet your friends are feeling a lot of hardship right now, and your friends feeling like they want to visit their friends too. Humphrey, given that we've had to be so isolated and alone, what do you like to do? What have you been doing? Oh, Humphrey's been secretly watching all our Zoom meetings. Oh, he's also been eating my Girl Scout cookies. That must be where they went, Humphrey. No, we can't eat all the things. It's a good coping mechanism, but we can't do it. So I hope, friends, that when you're feeling a little bit strange, or a little bit bored, or a little bit scared, remember the friends that you brought us today, and give them a big hug and lots of love, and tell your friends it's going to be okay, that everything is going to be okay. Thank you all for sharing your special friends with us this morning. It's super fun. We're going to sing together next. We are going to sing Your True North Star, a hymn by Carrie and Mike, and you'll see the words on your screen. And again, feel free to join us and sing along, or you can just sit back and be sung to.
Oh, there's a song in your heart and it's calling. It will guide your steps along the way. Follow your dream, your true north star. You'll find joy in what you do and peace in what you say. Hey, little one, let's have some fun. Let's play and explore. What do you really want to do? Let's see what lies in store. Oh, there's a song in your heart and it's calling. It will guide your steps along the way. Follow your dream, your true north star. You'll find joy in what you do and peace in what you say. Hey, young one, let's have some fun. Let's talk and explore. What do you really want to know? Each question leads to one more. Oh, there's a song in your heart and it's calling. It will guide your steps along the way. Follow your dream, your true north star. You'll find joy in what you do and peace in what you say. We're all just here to walk each other home and to speak our truth. Integrity is the foundation laid while in our youth. So grown-ups, hey my friend, how have you been? Let's lead and walk beside. What do you really want to share? Don't let your light hide. Oh, there's a song in your heart and it's calling. It will guide your steps along the way. Follow your dream, your true north star. You'll find joy in what you do, and you might have a lot of fun. Joy in what you do, and peace in what you say.
All right, I do love that song. I do love the vibe of Mary Poppins. I keep singing it's is thinking it's perfect for your voice day, Falcone. I can just see you on the stage. As many of you know, last Sunday was meant to be our big kickoff for our annual giving drive, and so plans changed a bit in light of what's happening. And our stewardship team met, and after some conversation decided to retool things a little bit, and we will be doing the kickoff on April 5th with our special guest speaker, all via Zoom, and then wrapping it up just 2 weeks later with Celebration Sunday. In the meantime, we want to continue to celebrate the theme of our annual giving drive, which feels more poignant and important in these days, the theme of home, a place to gather and give thanks. How we gather together in this, our fellowship home and our spiritual home, but also how that home extends beyond our walls today into your homes and your hearts. And so today we have a testimonial from our board president, Rachel Murphy.
Hello, I'm Rachel Murphy. I am this year's president of the board here at Booth, and I'm here to talk to you today about what Booth has meant to me and continues to mean to me, and how it has become one of my homes. My family and I moved to Boise in 2013, and we started coming to Booth shortly thereafter. First, we came for the services, which feed my soul as they are today. Then, as my daughter Rose got older and had the courage to leave my side, we started coming for her to attend the Religious Exploration Program. And she has grown so beautifully in the time that she has been coming. One day, our music director, Carrie Bastion, asked me to sing. And so I had the joy of bringing music making back into my life. Then Emmy Schlobaum, who was our director of family ministries, and I saw is here today joining us. Emmy asked me to help teach and help with the RE curriculum. And that expanded my connections with our children and our families and made religious exploration more than just about Rose's growth, but also about mine. I also was able to take advantage of Reverend Sarah's wonderful Preacher in You adult RE class to learn from the best about how to write and deliver a sermon. During this time, as my family went through some challenges and reconfigurations, I received pastoral support from Reverend Sarah and community support from our congregational care team. And now here I am on the board with an amazing, dedicated, thoughtful, and fun group of people, which I also consider a kind of small group ministry as we navigate decisions and challenges together. Perhaps you have shared some of these same kinds of connections with Booth. And you may be wondering how to keep these connections alive while we grapple with keeping ourselves and our loved ones safe through social distancing. And what I want to tell you is we are still here. All of these ways of connecting and supporting one another are still here, though they may look a little different. Our services and our beautiful music are still here. Here we are together on Zoom, getting to enjoy them. Our RE program is still going. As we are doing today, we'll be integrating family-friendly activities and spaces into our online offerings. We are also continuing our adult RE offerings online. Pastoral support is still available to you, Reverend Sarah and the congregational care team are here, as are all the other members and congregants that you can reach out to. The congregational care team and the board will be calling all of you, members and friends, in the coming weeks to check in, connect, and make sure that you feel supported. Our teams, committees, and small group ministries have started meeting to great effect on Zoom. The board had a very successful meeting this past Thursday over Zoom, and I'd say we learned a bit more about one another by getting to see the spaces in which we are living. In fact, I have found that the connections I've been making and the support I've received from Booth over this past week, as I've stayed at home and finally used my home office, these connections are as strong as any I've had in person. So I want to end by saying, we know these are difficult times. We know there will be long-term impacts on both you, our congregants, personally, and on Booth. As we head into our annual giving drive in a few weeks, we will ask you to continue your support at whatever level you can manage. But what we want you to know is we are here for you, no matter what. We will continue to be a strong, loving, supportive community, no matter what. And we will move forward together. Thank you.
Rachel, that was beautiful. Those are the exact sentiments that I hope that all of you take with you into the week. In this month of March, we've been exploring the spiritual theme of wisdom, which feels really poignant for this moment. We are faced with an opportunity to really tap into some deeper wisdom about what it means to be human, about what it means to be part of a shared human family and a global village. But about a month ago, when we were looking at this theme, I wanted our community to be able to hear the wisdom of those voices that we don't always get to hear. And so I visited our senior high youth group and asked a few of our youth if they would be willing to join me to share some of their wisdom with all of you. And I thought that would still be a fun and appropriate moment for today. So joining us today are Hallie and Dina Sherman. Aaron Steigel was to join us, but he had a conflict come up at the last minute and was not able to be here. And so Hallie and Dina and I, we're going to talk to you all, and I have invited them to share some of their wisdom with you in a moment. But I want to kick off this moment with a reading from the book The Little Prince by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. Grown-ups love figures. When you describe a new friend to them, they never ask you about the important things. They never say, what's his voice like? Or what are her favorite games? Does he collect butterflies? Instead, they demand, how old is he? How many siblings does she have? How much does he weigh? How much does his father earn? Only then do they feel like they know him. If you say to the grown-ups, I've seen a lovely house made of pink brick with geraniums in the windows and doves on the road, they are unable to picture such a house. You must say, I saw a house that come 100,000 francs. Then they cry out, how pretty. Again, you might say to them, the proof that the little prince existed is that he was enchanting, that he laughed, and that he was looking for a sheep. When someone wants a sheep, it is proof that they existed. The grown-ups will merely shrug their shoulders and treat you like a child. But if you tell them the planet he came from is asteroid B612, then they will be convinced and will spare you their questions. That is how they are, you must not hold it against them. Children have to be very indulgent toward grown-ups. So in this opportunity for us to allow our youth to be very indulgent of us, I want to invite Hallie and Dina to zoom in here. And they're going to introduce themselves to you. And then Hallie and Dina, when you're ready and when we've unmuted you, I want to just start with a simple question. One different that I started with yesterday, but the question is, I want you to just share with everyone, what is the very best thing about being a teenager?
Hi, I'm Hallie Sherman, and I'm a student at Boise High. I'm a sophomore, and I'm 16 years old, and I've been going to Booth since I was a little kid. And I would say that the best thing about being a teenager is you have a lot of freedom. Like, you don't have many responsibilities to, like, you don't have to pay for your house, and you get free food, and you can hang out with your friends all the time. And yeah. I am Dina Sherman. I am also a 16-year-old, a sophomore at Boise High, and I've been going here since I was a baby. I would also say that, like, a huge thing, like, the best part about being a teenager is, like, it's kind of all about, like, learning what it's like to be in the real world, but, like, without having to have responsibilities. So you're kind of, like, getting to know, like, what type of community you want to be in, and, like, what type of friendships you want. It's kind of all about, like, learning from your mistakes, I would say.
I'm like a free trial.
Yeah.
I was thinking this morning that there's a little bit of that available to all of us right in this moment, in terms of having to kind of stay home and not go to, maybe some of us aren't going to work regularly, or we're just doing a lot of different things, we're doing far less, but there's a little more freedom in that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what's the hardest thing about being a teenager?
Well, I would say that the hardest thing about being a teenager is probably social media, because there's so many pressures put on us as teenagers. Like, everyone's always posting about, like, the best moments of their lives, and, like, sometimes it feels kind of like a competition between everyone for, like, who's doing the best stuff, and, like, yeah, like, who's having the best time. And I think people always want to be, like, the richest and the prettiest, and, like, I think there's just a lot of pressures put on teenagers for that, especially because of social media. And I would say the hardest part in what is happening right now with the coronavirus is that I do understand that by teenagers going out and not caring, we are directly affecting other adults who would have a huger problem. But it also is like, you see other people posting on social media that they're not, like, they're hanging out with their friends. So, like, you want to hang out with your friends, but it's all because, like, it doesn't directly affect us, but by doing that, we are directly affecting other people. And it's hard to, like, make that decision on your own to not hang out with your friends, because, like, you have this pressure to hang out with your friends.
And, like, we've been struggling, like, with our dad with it for a bit, even though it's not his fault. It's because each day, like, it's getting worse and worse. So, like, he has to get stricter and stricter. But it's been hard, because it's like every time that we come back home, I feel like we've, like, done something wrong, even though it's just that he's trying to make sure that, like, we're being safe and that we're not spreading it to other people.
I think it's hard for all of us. It's hard because we're not seeing any direct result yet.
Mm-hmm.
So it all still feels very sort of surreal. You two have been part for this congregation since you were babies.
Hmm.
So you've been cradle Unitarian Universalists. So tell me a little bit about how does being a UU inform your life outside of church?
I would say that the church has kind of shown me what community looks like. So, because I see all these people who are here to like not judge me, they're all very accepting of me. And it's nice to see that compared to a lot of things outside of there where it's like you have to conform to what society wants you to be like, but at the church, you are welcome to be who you want to be.
I think that it's a cool community because like it's more like it doesn't matter what religion you are, and you can kind of like you're not going to be judged by something that you believe in because it's like whatever you want to believe in, and everyone's trying to figure out that themselves. And so it gives like you a lot of creative space kind of, and I think that it also teaches me to like how to talk with adults and like have conversations with them. So that's a cool thing.
Awesome. So the last questions I have for you are a pair. I feel a little silly in asking this question right now. So if you want to imagine that what your answer would be a month ago when we first started talking about that, you may. But I'm curious to know as where you are in your lives right now as 16-year-olds, what worries you most?
I would say climate change because I feel that a lot of older adults do not like they weren't thinking about it before, and now that it's actually become a problem, like they're not doing as much about it. And us as teenagers, we can try and do rallies, but at the end of the day, we're not the ones in charge. So we can try and have a say, but we can't make the complete change without adults like accepting it as well.
Another thing that I think is hard is that like it's gonna affect us the most in the future because like when everyone else is gone, like we're still gonna be there like seeing the bigger effects of it, and like then it's like hard to decide like if we like this is kind of more in the future, but like if we should even have like kids and stuff because it's like it's a lot to bring them into because like we don't know like what the world is going to look like in like 10-20 years.
So let's end with what inspires you.
I would say teenagers who like Greta, what's her last name?
Thunberg?
Yeah. I would say that she inspires me a lot because she is a teenager and she has gotten her voice out there a lot and people are listening to her. Yeah.
It inspires me to see like women standing up to be leaders and stuff like how
Wait.
just like
Lauren McLean.
Yeah, like Lauren McLean, and that there were a lot more women running for president, even though there are none running now.
Yeah.
It was impressive that there was more than just like
it used to only be Hillary Clinton, and now there were more women willing to try to become president, and that's really impressive to me.
Either of you want to be president someday?
I don't think that's my role.
Maybe we'll see.
Thank you both. Thank you for
Yeah.
being willing to share with us and talk with us and give us a little bit of insight into your world. I really appreciate it. It's been really fun to talk to our youth and hear their collective answers to some of these questions. And so I'll ask the questions again for all of you to think about in your own lives and where you are in this moment of your life. What is the best thing about this particular time of your life, this particular decade or period of your life? And what is the hardest thing about it? And how does being a Unitarian Universalist inform your life outside of the walls of the congregation and beyond those moments of connection with fellow EVUs? And what worries you beyond just this particular time and moment, which is a great worry for many of us, but also what inspires you? A good question to continue to keep asking ourselves again and again in the coming days and weeks. What I'm realizing about this time of isolation and social distancing and even self-quarantine is that wisdom lives everywhere. We've just been given the chance to slow down enough to notice it. We've been given a chance to shift our entire perspective of the world and reality, and welcome wisdom from places and sources we might have overlooked in the past. Places like our young people. All the prophets and thinkers tell us that wisdom isn't born from knowledge or facts, but it lies deep within us. And it may grow over time with experience, but each of us still possesses a unique personal wisdom that is ours alone. Powerful and full of truths about this life. In this new reality, in this time of unknowing, in this time of uncertainty, even in this time of growing fear, I hope that we all can give ourselves and each other the gift of our wisdom. Not advice, but wisdom. Wisdom like, it's okay to rest. It's okay to be afraid. It's okay to be sad and cry, and to be lonely and miss people. It's okay to just stare out of the window and sit in your pajamas all day. Whatever it is that is niggling at you, whatever that inner critic is telling you, that is not your wisdom. It is okay to ignore it. And laughter is good medicine. Lin Yutang writes, besides the noble art of getting things done, there is the noble art of leaving things undone. The wisdom of life consists in the elimination of the non-essentials. We are all living in this new way, in this invitation to being, far more important than doing. Perfection is not the goal, only love. In this new slowness, if we pay attention, we might hear the wisdom of the trees, the birds, a flower or a blade of grass, the sunlight and the clouds, each offering us wisdom like dance when you feel moved by the wind or the music or just because. Sing out and sing often. Open up for all to see your beauty. Be still. Shine your light everywhere you go. This moment is ours. This moment is enough. May it be so. Part of shining our light everywhere we go is practicing generosity. Last week, just to get ourselves comfortable with the new online worship format, we didn't take up an offering, but we are going to reinstate an offering moment here virtually, all online. We recognize that The economic impact of this moment is having untold effects in people's lives, and we understand that. We recognize it will have an impact on the fellowship as well. But we invite you to participate in our offering in whatever way you can. We will still give 25% of this month's plate offering to our plate partner, Catch, Charitable Assistance for the Community's Homeless. We're so happy to be partnering with Catch, particularly this month. They are on the front lines in this epidemic to provide services for those experiencing homelessness, a community we know will be severely impacted by coronavirus and COVID-19. And they are continuing to do all they can to provide all the support they can and house as many families as possible. So to give online, you can go to our website, boiseuu.org. I'll have Rachel post a link in the chat too, so you can just click and go. At the top right corner of your website, as you'll see on the screen highlighted in yellow, you can click Give. You'll be taken to our online giving portal where you can just enter the amount you'd like to give for in the Sunday offering box and click Continue. Even if you already have an account for this Vanco portal, you can just enter all of your information in and click Continue. It's pretty easy. There's also an online giving app for your Android or your iPhone called Give Plus. You can download the app, search for Boise Unitarian Universalist Fellowship, click Give and follow the prompts, and then week after week you can just use the app. It's easy once you get going. We're hoping all of this is made easy for all of you because we know that when we give, in whatever ways that we can, we're saying yes to those things that we value most. Yes to beloved community. Yes to our wider village. Yes to supporting the ministry of our plate partner. Yes to maintaining our connection to one another. Our offering will now be received. Search high and low. I know you all clapping out there too. Thank you. That was beautiful. Each week, we maintain our connection together, remembering our beloved community and this Booth family by opening up a space to receive and carry the joys and sorrows of those gathered together here. Sasha, I want to share with you, the Richmond family says that was amazing in all caps, Veronica and Audrey. This is wonderful about chat. So we're inviting you to participate in our joys and sorrows by sharing your joys and sorrows in the chat box, and I'll do my best to read them aloud. I am going to begin by sharing a few that we received this week. Diana Barrero Lowe shares that her grandson Daniel received his PhD in physics this week. Dr. Macaulay at last. Wonderful. Linda Barlow shares that she had to postpone a long-awaited trip to Dublin and Malta, that she, in the midst of her travel, found out that these places were closing, and she's back home with her family. All are healthy. Hopefully you'll be able to take that trip again very soon, Linda. Steve Scanlon shares that he recently returned from the last cruise to be offered by any cruise line for the moment. And he had a great time with no ill effects. Everyone on the ship was safe and healthy throughout the cruise. We hold in our hearts Bill Foxcroft, whose mother Phyllis is on hospice and near the very end of her life. And Romel Rodriguez, whose son Michael died last week. If you'd like to share your joys and sorrows, keep them coming in the chat and we'll share them together. Greta Watson shares the joy that she and her family will be camping in the backyard tonight. That sounds super fun. Dave Voida shares it's Octavius's first birthday today. Happy birthday, Octavius. I know there's more out there, friends. Here we go. We hold in our hearts Matthew's friend, Draven, who is laid off this week, and all the workers who are being laid off in this time and finding themselves in a very uncertain place. The Jenkins family shares that Annabelle was accepted into the Fine Arts Academy. Congratulations, Annabelle, after 2 years of hard work. Christina asks for prayers for all folks who are stuck inside together, couples, families, all people who might be experiencing some cabin fever, communication trouble. May you find your way through these times. The Cole family shares that their Aunt Mary is sick with COVID-19 but is getting better. And the difficulty of living with teenagers in this time, it's so hard for all of us, particularly I think for our young people, desperate to get outside and see friends. Patty shares that her Aunt Betty died on Friday after 96 years on this earth. Our love and prayers go out to you, Patty, and your family. Another share from Diane, who has a family member tested for COVID-19 this morning and awaiting results. We extend our loving prayers and thoughts to all of those who are awaiting test results, all of those who are struggling through the virus in various stages, and to the healthcare workers on the front lines providing the best possible care. Patty Reno shares great sadness at the death of a longtime Mahjong friend, Linda Dory. Patty, we hold you and Linda's family in our hearts. Our joys and sorrows are part of the living of our life together. They're how we express support for one another and reach out and ask for the help we need. As we hold all of these joys and sorrows in the arms of the community, I invite you to join me in the spirit of prayer. Let us all take a breath together. Spirit of life and love, God of many names and no names, we hold all of the love in our hearts for the joys and sorrows of our community, for the deaths, for the new experiences, for the new realities and challenges of distance and isolation, for the fear and the anxiety welling up. May we also remember the joy, the laughter. May we remember it in the faces of our young friends who shared with us this morning. May we remember it when we look outside at spring blooming around us, at the flowers poking up from what was once frozen earth. May we take comfort in knowing that new life continues, that the cycle of life is what holds us all. May we find comfort in slowing down, in tapping into our own inner wisdom, to the wisdom in unexpected places. May our hearts always know love, and may we share that love in new and interesting and innovative ways virtually across the world. May we be vessels of comfort, compassion. May we be vessels of hope and healing. May we be vessels of peace and justice. May love prevail. In the name of all that is holy, we pray. Amen. We invite you to join us, if you choose, in singing this beautiful new hymn written for this moment in our annual giving drive, but a hymn whose words are deeply inspiring in this time, from Carrie and Mike, This Is Our Home.
winds at play. The windows they lift, the sun shining, so no matter the weather, we'll find shelter together. Come what may. We don't need a place that shines a mighty light, a place to work for, that's just and right, a place to share our bounty, to build a better world. We all need faith, we all need hope, we all need love. So we come home to this place where we gather and give thanks. Here we welcome all inside the arms of love. Through the storm, through the sun, we come together as one. For this is where peace and justice abide. This is our home. This is our home. This is our home. This is our home. This is our
Thank you. Friends, we're going to keep the Zoom channel open and invite you all to have a virtual coffee time together. We'll unmute everybody and we'll stop our video and mute ourselves, but you can all stay on and say hello or say goodbye as you choose. Our closing blessing today, again, the words that we heard last week, words that continue to remind us that we all have a blessing to share and to remind us of all who need our blessing right now. This is an adaptation of a new Beatitudes from Reverend Lee Pexula. Blessed are the elderly and the immunosuppressed. Blessed are the fearful, the anxious, and the irritable. Blessed are the ones who use humor to get by, the ones who could use a vacation anyway, the ones who fear for their life. Blessed are the ones who are sick of it, all the flawed logic and security theater. Blessed are the ones who cry out, this is why we need a safety net, a kinder society, a new world. Blessed are the healthcare workers, the administrators catching heat for every decision, the messengers with no power over the message. Blessed are the sad and lonely. Blessed are the healthy and the sick, the well and the unwell. Blessed are all of us just trying to do our best. Blessed are those who stay kind and clear, who keep our eyes open to each other. Blessed is our neighbor. Blessed are we all. I invite you to say it with me. Blessed are we all. Blessed are we all. Blessed are we all. Go in peace, friends. See you soon.